ABC News headquarters, this is World News with Charles Gibson.
Motor Company has, where they assemble the F-150 trucks. And we are here for a two-day look at the troubled American auto industry. And we'll get to that story a little bit later. And when we return to our broadcast from Dearborn, Michigan, my conversation with the CEOs of Ford and GM. Their plan to revive a failing industry, our series running on empty.
This is World News with Charles Gibson.
As I mentioned earlier, we are here in the Detroit area to take a look at America's troubled automobile industry. Ford just last week reported record losses. General Motors later this week will report a better picture, but still not good. Yet there is reason to hope, at least hope, that things will improve. However, the problems for General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler are major.
You'll find in many cases somebody will
If you listen to the CEOs of Ford and GM, everything is looking up.
You'll see some cars that I think that'll knock your socks off.
Ford is an American icon. It's a wonderful brand.
Very upbeat. But if their companies were hospital patients, they might not be on the critical list, but their conditions would certainly be serious. And the third member of the big three, Chrysler, is no better off. Just consider their headaches. U.S. automakers lost 8% of the U.S. auto market last year, while Asian manufacturers gained 5%, and European companies gained just under 3%. U.S. automakers have closed dozens of plants and shed tens of thousands of workers, while foreign manufacturers built plants and hired workers. And the U.S. automakers spent $12 billion on health care in 2005 for their employees and retirees, while the foreign manufacturers spent just over 10% of that. There is a health care crisis coming in this country. You're just getting it first.
I think we're leading edge, yes. It's a big elephant, you're right.
Just consider this. GM's health plan is so generous, the company pays for a medical procedure every second of every day. So can the American Big Three even hope to compete?
If you look at the underlying operations of the business, the way our new products are received, the new technologies we're showing, including some very interesting fuel-saving technologies, our basic manufacturing productivity, these businesses can compete.
But they've got an awful lot of work to do to overcome attitudes, if nothing else. GM has more models that get 30 miles to the gallon than do Honda or Toyota. But Americans think of Japanese cars as more fuel efficient. American manufacturers have stressed reliability. But a generation of Americans have grown up thinking foreign manufacturers make more reliable cars. How to turn it around? Ford plans to downsize and try to make a profit producing fewer cars.
The consumers have moved to smaller SUVs and cars. And so we need to shift with that and create cars now that are more efficient, that the customers really want and value.
And GM puts their reliance on styling. So what's going on behind these doors?
Basically, people are designing future Chevys. I'll take you in one of these studios.
And these doors are locked. You've locked the doors.
I have this that'll get me in. You don't.
And then technology is another key, getting people into cars that are cheaper to operate by using alternatives to the present gas-powered engines. Can it be done? Well, American consumers have to be convinced they get equivalent value in American cars, have to be convinced American cars are reliable, and the companies have to shed some of those murderous health care costs.
Everything is at stake for Detroit right now. This is the last chance to get it right. Detroit has lost an entire generation of car buyers, and it will probably take another generation to win these customers back.
An entire generation to win them back. But do they have that much time? Rick Wagner of GM says yes, they do, and he believes they have the proper strategy and the new technologies that will get Americans driving American cars again. Upbeat, as I said, to be sure. And we'll find out in the next few years if they have reason to be. I'll have the second part of our series from here in Detroit tomorrow, and we'll look at the fortunes big auto companies are spending on buyouts and find out what life is like for workers who take those buyouts.